The big point here is that you can create options for yourself by changing the trades that you're willing to make. Being willing to tolerate things that you were beforehand unwilling to tolerate. I try to share the things that have helped me, and I get a lot of messages when I talk about that stuff, but I also get the amount of just like victimhood. It spikes with anything related to that stuff. I say this as someone who had a family who struggled with mental health. I wholeheartedly understand the struggle. And I share this because it is what helped me. And like when I talk about options, like the perceived lack of options, like when I am sad and I get sad, and I think part of that is genetic, I think to myself, like, what trades am I unwilling to make? What impossibilities am I claiming are impossible but aren't? And then what is the consequence of that? Because fear only exists in the vague, not in the specific. And so when I want to walk myself down an uncomfortable path, I start playing out, but no, what would it really look like? Okay, let's say I could never disappoint my parents. No, but what would it really look like? I would go there and I would say I was leaving. And then what would happen? They would block me and I'd have to physically fight them to get out of the house. Okay, am I willing to do that or die? Well, I prefer to stay alive, and so I'll do that. And so if I had to fight them, I would fight my way out. Okay, assuming they didn't want to have a physical altercation with me, what then would happen? Well, they probably wouldn't talk to me. Okay, well, there's probably been times in my life where that was a nice thing. Okay, so maybe that's not so bad. What else would happen? You wouldn't be able to come home for holidays. It's not so bad either. I mean, I can do a Friendsgiving instead of a Thanksgiving. Like Christmas, I can celebrate elsewhere. That's not a huge deal. Okay. He's like, okay, so the cost of my dreams is not getting texts from my parents and not being able to have specific foods on specific days of the year. That's what I'm unwilling to suffer. That's what I'm unwilling to trade. That terrible experience. And I think when we frame those things in the specific, all of a sudden these fears we have around the decisions, the actions we know we need to take but aren't, all of a sudden begin to melt away. And I think that is where the chains we put on ourselves get broken.